cheating on me. That stuff is ridiculous. And whenever he's out doing this gig work stuff, he'll answer the phone the first time I call. He will come home if I'm like, hey, I need you to come home, and he's back within whatever distance he's away from me. So there's none of this, like, there's just, whatever you guys are trolling, you're trolling there, because that's not going on here.
Y'all, I have not been tapped in with the resilient Jenkins, but there is some interesting stuff going on. So let's talk about it. So it all started when this random account was created on TikTok, okay? And the account goes by the name of Drew's Side Piece, okay? So she posted this, POV Drew's new girl. And it is screenshots of a text chain between her and Drew. Now, this is what the text chain says. She tells Drew, send me a photo of your hand holding 2 fingers up. Drew says, why, LOL? Alleged Drew. She says, because you could be her this whole time for all I know. Drew says, if you want, sure. She said, yes, I want. That's when Drew sends this photo. So the account posts this photo, and it's basically Drew putting up 2 fingers, and we can tell that this is his car and that is his ring. The account says, yes, this is actually Drew that she's messaging, and she won't like dox his number publicly, but she will confirm with anyone who actually has Drew's number that she is actually talking to Drew and she's Drew's side piece. Okay, then this account posts more text screenshots of her talking to Drew on TikTok. And she captions this video, Steph not checking the phone enough. The woman, Drew's side piece, says, what about Twitch? Does Stephanie see the comments? Drew says, no, not really, but it's Twitch. Anyone can join in the chat, and there's game talk on there. Drew's side piece says, I know that I wouldn't say anything weird in the chat, but if she sees the same person in the chat every day, it might be weird. And mind you, this conversation is about Drew and Drew's side piece trying to find out a way that they can communicate because Stephanie checks Drew's phone. So Drew's side piece then goes, does Stephanie go through your phone or just try to peek out what you're doing? Drew says both. Drew's side piece says, that's crazy. Drew says, yes, I see. Yeah, gotta be careful messaging though. 15 minutes sooner and she had my phone. Then Drew's side piece says, you got an iPhone or an Android. Can't you just lock certain apps? Drew says she has the passwords. Drew's side piece says, I didn't even think you would respond, to be honest. Drew says, I wasn't going to. She says, what made you? And you made me wait all day. Drew says, I did? Because I was at the house. It'd be hard. She know I don't text like that. I don't know how I would even hide your number. Drew's side piece said, damn, maybe you should get some diarrhea and have to take extra bathroom trips. That's when you save the number under Pizza Hut or spam likely. Drew says, we don't buy Pizza Hut. He then says, you can't blow me up though, she'll see it. She says, I won't, you gotta message me first. Drew says, nervous with this emoji. And she said, we can wait, it's fine. Okay, the next conversation that Drew's side piece posts is this. And what made you decide to go back to work? I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, especially if you hate it. Drew says, I was just annoyed by everything to get out of this motel. Only for a few days a week. I still want my freedom. She says, what type of work is it? He says, grocery retail. I have 12 years of experience in it. I get off at 4 a.m., so no problem. I worked nights for 10 years, LOL. She said, you're better than me. I couldn't do it. When do you start? He said, I'm getting my journeyman wage back. I don't know when he calls me. I'll probably check today. I'm getting on soon, smoking right now. She said, okay, I'm tidying up a bit, then I'll watch. Drew says, I don't want to, but it is what it is. She says, I have mixed feelings about it. See, that's what I was going to say. I don't think you actually want to, so it's not a good thing. Drew says, at least I know what I'm doing already, and all my old coworkers are there still. Old and gray AF from slave working their whole life. So Drew and Stephanie then proceed to basically go on live, and they're like Stephanie's like, Drew's not cheating. And Drew's kind of just sitting there like. But, I mean, I don't know. Stephanie's saying that this account is a troll account. But if you guys saw in the video that I showed, the account swiped out and basically showed that there actually were messages between her and Drew. And it is, like, Drew's actual verified account. So, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. This could be a troll. It could be real.
I'm live. What's up?
No, I just didn't know you were coming out here.
Okay, well, I thought we... Okay. Just talked about it, but okay. I'm glad you're not missing this one. Bro, right? They act like they don't have just as much attitude. They totally do. Sometimes more, I swear. I'm trying to be peace, man. Like, I wasn't even done talking. But okay, man.
Can you pause that, these kids?
Okay, 1 second. Hold on. I
Did you see how Drew in the last sub live that Stephanie Jenkins was trying to conduct, how he was yelling at her and like slammed the door in her face? All because of what? All because Stephanie Jenkins decided to take a little mommy break outside and try to go live without telling Drew of her every whereabout and where she was. Yeah, Drew got really upset that she was outside and he had to take care of the kids, because even though he told the judge that that's what he does, that, you know, he takes care of his girlfriend's kids, he refuses to do said thing when it actually, like, the action is, like, not being followed through. He just wants to say that he takes care of the kids, but he really doesn't. Are they coming to an end? Like, their fighting is getting a little bit scary in the sense of, like, he knew she was on live. I just can't believe that Drew knew that Stephanie was on live and he slammed that car door and said, like, he couldn't take care of the kids anymore and that he needed to tap out. Parenting, you don't get to tap out, but, you know, Mr. Drew Jenkins is a little spoiled.
Did you guys see what happened on the Resilient Jenkins live today? Because Drew absolutely crashed out on Stephanie's kids and we have to discuss it. So Stephanie was live earlier and she was sitting in the car because she wanted a couple minutes of peace and quiet and also so that she could go live. Drew came up to the car like 2 or 3 times and he was infuriated with basically her kids. He was like, come get these kids, get off of live. And she's like, hold on. He was screaming and he was cursing at the children though. And yes, you could hear it. I don't care who you are. You could never disrespect my kids. He can't even watch the kids though. Like, I understand getting frustrated because y'all are all in one room, but they quite literally put themselves there. Y'all have got to let me know what you think about this in the comments. I feel so bad for those kids. Y'all need to let Grandma Reese step in. That's what I think at this point. Let Granny Reese come through and help y'all.